What was that? Franzi Nielsen will play today, correct. Gus Nyquist is out today with illness. I have no idea. You have to. My understanding is a little bit different. Well, I'd say anything's a possibility. We played at 1 and we play at 6, so I think everything's on the table, and after warm-ups, you'll see our lineup. Nope. I think he's been a good player for us. He's done a really good job in the penalty kill. He's a very good, sound defensive player. I would say at times too defensive and too passive, and that's one thing we've tried to work is getting him a little more aggressive, both from taking time and space away and from being willing to attack more offensively. I think he's made his way into the league as a real good defensive player, but he's got lots of skill, and we just want to see that skill unleashed a little bit more. But with that said, he's a guy who has played with real good players, played with Forsberg and Arvidsson at the World Championships. That was one of the reasons we liked him, was he had the skill in the mind to be able to play with real good players, but he's a real good defensive player.
I guess that was the knocking one for the offense, trying to get that offense out of it. Do you think there is more there offensively or whatnot?
We hope there's more there. I believe there's more there. Well, actually, I shouldn't say we hope. I know there's more there. It's just a matter of it clicking. I think one of the hard things in this league now is making decisions on guys at 22 years old is hard. And there's lots of you can point to some of the young guys that are having success in the league, and most of those guys are the top 5 picks in the league or the elite guys. Most guys it takes till you're 22 as a forward, 23, sometimes 24 as a defenseman. Lots of times it's 24 when you start to finally understand how to play. So, there's lots of hockey ahead of them, and we think there's more. We're going to keep pushing for more out of them.
In your experience, trade deadline, is there a different vibe in the locker room at all?
I've been through different scenarios. My first year, as an assistant here, we were buyers. My first year, we did neither. The last couple of years, we were sellers. When you're a seller, it's a little unnerving, I think, at times, and I think it requires some conversations to make sure the guys keep things in the right frame of mind. I think one of the biggest things that anybody can do in life is compartmentalize things, and right now, guys that are being talked about being traded or have some of those unknowns or have contract extension unknowns out there, if they play good hockey, great things happen. If they play bad hockey, poor things happen. That's just the reality. This is what their job is. So they got to find a way to compartmentalize the business side of it and focus on the hockey side of it. And honestly, think our guys have done a good job of that so far. I honestly haven't thought about it at all. They must have a powerful union. I haven't thought one bit about it, to be dead honest. The deadline's when the deadline is. From my perspective, I'm more worried about coaching our team.
As an aside to that, if you were on the buying side, does that disrupt? When you add players on like that, can that disrupt the chemistry? Because let's say like Coop and Tampa right now, a couple other guys, they might be in that position, but they seem to be rolling along so well. And then
Well, I think there's a challenge when you're a real good team of disrupting your chemistry for certain, where guys play, the spots they play, and all those things. I think there's a challenge in that when you add players to your team, and so that's part of the buyer beware. I'm sure that they have to have. I don't know if there's a challenge. Well, first of all, we're both doing it, so it's totally fair. I think sometimes it can be good. I used to do this all the time in college, and it's just it's a little different from your preparation standpoint. Usually our coaches have pre-scouted the opponent a bunch, and I break down last night's game, and then they bring me lots of stuff from our opponents, and this is a little bit different. I think the challenge is that we weren't very good for 42 minutes last night. We got to find a way to be way better for 42 minutes. So, we're in there digging through video to find ways to put our group in the right spot to be as successful as possible. So we just got to make sure we're better.
The second game, back-to-backs against the
don't do it enough, to be honest with you. We don't do it enough for me to really have a good recollection of a bunch of it, you know. So I would tend to think that, yes, that probably does happen. Obviously, in the playoffs it happens for sure, but yes, it probably does happen. They probably are a little bit chippier. Hronik will play tonight, correct.
Everybody else who played yesterday?
Except for Nyquist. Yep.
Go with 7.
Line up after. Thank you.